Alrighty. It always takes a second. And we'll see if anyone is joining us, because usually in the first 2 seconds it just says zero. Zero people watching.
Really? I see 2 people.
Okay. It takes a second for me to see it. But hello. Hello, everyone. We are very excited to be here as usual for our monthly Blush and Bluestocking Society book club meeting. We are talking about A Rogue's Rules for Seduction by Eva Lee. This is the third and final book in her Last Chance Scoundrels series. And Lisa and I were just talking about how much we enjoyed the first 2 books of the series. And so, yeah, we're excited to talk about this one as well. Yeah, it says 5 people are watching. So hello to the 5 people that are watching. Leave a comment. Tell us how you are. Tell us what you thought about the book, what you rated it. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can just go ahead and get into it. So Lisa, what did you rate this?
So I think I'm going to give this one a 2.5 out of
Okay.
5 stars. I like the premise. I really like the second chance premise where, our heroine is meeting the person that she really liked, she really loved, she thought she could have forever with. But then all of a sudden he just bolts and they never end up getting married. And then they meet each other again. And then nothing really freaking happens with this book. I was so bored. And I was just waiting for it to end. I think I made it up to like chapter 17 or something, where I just started skimming the rest of the book because I was just like, I don't care anymore. But I was there for when it was revealed why he left her and why he didn't want to be a part of it. But I think like I need you to help me like fill in some of the gaps and details. And yeah, so that's my rating.
Okay. Hi, Monica. Oh, you gave it 5 stars. Fun. So I gave this, I would say 4. I totally see everything that you just said. I usually am a sucker for the forced proximity house party situation. Being that they're stuck at this house party together and they didn't know that they thought there was going to be there. I love house parties and historical romances. Like, it's just so funny to me how people just got together and hung out for like a month,
Yeah.
and like I really did appreciate all like the dumb games and shit that the host had them doing. But I agree. Let's see what other people are saying, and I'll dive more into my thoughts. 1 star for me. The characters were just so tedious, kept claiming to have a bunch of growth and maturity, but I didn't see it. Fair. DNF for me. So disappointed. I liked the first 2. We can also give our ratings so I gave the first 2 books 5 stars. I thought book 1, which is Kieran and Celeste's story, was just fun. I gave that one 5 stars. And then How the Wallflower Was Won, that was Tabitha and Finn's story, gave that one 5 stars as well. There was definitely more meat to that story. We had the marriage of convenience. We had Finn believing that he was stupid, but really he just has a learning disability. And Tabitha being like this Bluestocking, and kind of like the opposites attract thing between the 2 of them. There was a lot more to that book than I think this one or book 1, but this one I also just had really high hopes for, because their tumultuous romance is the catalyst for the whole series. For like their parents being like, oh, you have to marry within a year or we take your inheritance away. And the first half, I would say, I wasn't necessarily bored because I think a big part of my enjoyment, honestly, was the audiobook, because Mary Jane Wells narrates this one. And she's a fantastic narrator. Like, she's amazing. She narrates a lot of Tessa Dare's audiobooks, for those of you that may not know. And she's just so entertaining. Like, I just love the way that she reads books. And so maybe that was a big part of why I wasn't like so bored, because she made the party games and stuff even funnier, with the way that she read it. But yeah, the whole first half, I was like, okay, like, what are we doing? Like, I could see what the author was trying to do, because you had to get them from a place of where Willa pretty much hates Dom to them being friends again to eventually being lovers. So I could see what was happening, but I agree with you, Lisa, that like it was not necessarily slow, but nothing really was happening, right? I mean,
it wasn't what I thought the synopsis would like allude to. Like it wasn't what it was. I thought that there would be more, I don't know, like just more to it, you know, like more explaining like their emotions of like how they felt and like what they did afterwards when the wedding didn't go through. I don't know. Like, there's just like a lot of it that I felt like was missing. Like it could have been deeper, but it wasn't. And it was just more of them like at a house party, just like being next door neighbors. I mean, like roommates, or not roommates, but like, you know, like their rooms are next to each other's kind of thing.
I feel like going into this book too, I think we all expected this book to have the most meat to it, the most substance, because of how dramatic the breakup of their relationship was at the beginning of book one. We see it. Chapter 1 is them about to get married, and Dom is like, fuck, I can't do this. And then Finn and Kieran get him out of it. You know, so I definitely like the first half. I was like, where is this going? Is this all the book is just a house party? Like, I definitely expected a lot more, like you just said.
Going back to like the audiobook point that you made, see, the thing is that I don't know, like I used to listen to audiobooks really quickly. Like 3.5 was my max, like my minimum speed, which is the max speed. But then like I think like I just like kind of took a break from listening to audiobooks for a long time, and it made my brain kind of like digest audiobooks slower. So when I was trying to finish this audiobook at 3.5, it was really hard for me because of the narrator. Like I liked how she like performed certain scenes and certain like things that the characters were saying, and how, you know, she was really playing up at the characters. But I guess it's like a my bad, my fault situation that I waited for so long to like listen to the audiobook. Like if I had more time, then I would have probably enjoyed it a little bit more. But I found myself actually like slowing down, and I had to like listen to it at like 3 times the speed in order for me to actually understand what was happening in the storyline. But anyways, yeah. So I guess like if I just like gave myself more time to finish the book, and for the record, I finished this book today at 5. So maybe if I gave myself more time, I would have liked the audiobook a little bit more, but I don't know.
Yeah, I finished this book about like 30 minutes ago. And I, you know, interesting enough, I had kind of a similar experience with this particular audiobook. There were like, I couldn't get up to 3 times speed until I was like well into the book. Like it took, I don't know why, because like we just said, this story is pretty simple. What's going on? Like, I don't know if it's just like her writing in this particular book that like for some reason I couldn't really get above like 2.5 speed for a while. And then
I felt like I was slowing it down so that I wouldn't miss the story. Thinking that there was more to it than what I was listening to it. And then like I feel like with me, like with historical romances, they have to get my attention within like the first 15%, because it sets up like the whole like characters, plot line, what to expect with the remainder of the historical romance novel that I'm reading. And if I'm not into it, like I feel like it's just like dragging my feet to finish the book. So I think this one was like a pain point for me.
Haven't read this yet, but here for the vibes. I've given all Eva's books a 3 so far. So I had tried reading one of her backlist titles.
And I gave the underground one.
It's one of it's one of those. I gave it 3 stars, so I haven't read the rest of that series. And then I read her let me think, the 2 of the books in the series she wrote before this one, the one that's like inspired by 80s movies. I never read My Fake Rake, but I read the other 2, and I really enjoyed those. And then this series so far had been a home run for me. Like I said, I gave the first 2 5 stars, and so like I fully expected to give this one 5 stars. And I just thought that like Eva Lee was like in her writing peak at this point. Like I was very, very excited about this. And so like, yeah, I can't lie. This one was definitely a little bit of a letdown. It just was. And yeah, I don't know. Dang, I just expected a lot more from this like angsty second chance.
You were very enthusiastic and excited about this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I wouldn't shut up about it. Like, I remember when I was talking about it in like, because I typically make some like anticipated releases videos every few months, and like talking about this book, I was like so pumped. And then when like my May TBR, I was like so pumped that we picked this for the book club and stuff. Yeah. So I mean, I liked it though. It's definitely I gave it 4 stars, but yeah, I just. And it's hard for me also to put my finger on what exactly. I think at the end of the day, it's like the simplicity of it. And I also feel the pacing of like how the steamy scenes happened felt a little bit off to me, because it was like the first half, nothing happened between the two of them. Yep. And then like the last 30%, it was like literally steamy scene, conversation, end.
Yeah.
You know, but Melissa, I gave this 4 stars, and Lisa just commented she gave it 2.5. It's slow burn in that the steam doesn't happen until like the second half, but I don't know if I would necessarily call it a slow burn, because it's an angsty second chance, and like they're at this house party, so not that much time has elapsed, you know?
Do you think it's because, I don't know, like, I wonder if I don't like the book as much because I've wanted the heroine to not even, like, look at him, not even engage with conversation, like, kind of, like, stray away and, like, not even, like, have any, any space with him whatsoever. Because, I mean, like, if I got humiliated like that, why would I want to be anywhere near him?
Yeah, I feel like the way that she let Dom back in, I don't know. Like, I feel like all of that could have been written differently. Because I agree that, like, in some ways, I feel like in some ways she did let him back into her life too easily.
Yeah.
But also, I do feel like he groveled. I don't know. Like,
it wasn't clear enough for me.
I agree. It was weird. I think because she wanted them to become friends first, and then lovers, that does muddy the waters. Whereas I expected and kind of wanted like a first kissing scene like earlier in the book, and then the two of them be like, oh no, like we can't do this. Especially like Willa being like, no, we're not doing this, and then progress from there, as opposed to how it was written, them like having conversations, and then around like the 55% mark was like the first kiss of the book.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that way, the pacing of the romance was off.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about before she knew the reason. I'm talking about like, no, I see what you're saying, Monica, but like, I feel like even before she knew the reason, she was letting him back in a little too easily. But yet, like I said, I feel he did grovel. So it was just weird. It was just, I don't know. Ooh, the Knickerbocker series is coming to audio. Oh, fun. I'm going to have to reread them. Well, I just read Mogul, which is the final book of the series, last month. So now I kind of wish I would have waited for the audio. I didn't realize these books were coming to audio. But I love Baron. I read that like months ago. I might give that one a reread. Dual narration, fun. But that's a fun Gilded Age series. But yeah, like I don't know. I don't really have any more thoughts about the book.
I have no thoughts whatsoever after. Like there wasn't a third act breakup, right? Like there wasn't a third. They didn't break up in the end, right?
No, because it's one of those romances where it was so angsty, them getting together, that I feel like it would have been stupid to have them do like a true third act breakup. It was more of Willa being like, I just don't know, give me time.
Yeah.
And then it took her like a day. Like it wasn't that much time for her to be like, no wait.
Yeah, but
But I
honestly,
appreciated that. I do like that there wasn't just a third act breakup just put in there just because. Um,
I think I'm with Melissa, where she said that she gave all of Eva's books a 3 star so far. Like I feel like my ratings for Eva's like around a 3 star mark. 3.5, 3 stars. Always like near there.
what did you give book one of
Book
this
one, I
series?
gave it 3. Book number 2, I gave it 4. And then this
Okay,
one's 2.5.
gotcha. Yeah, I feel like I've tried reading Eva's backlist, like I said, and it's very meh. So I'm not gonna try anymore. I'll read her future stuff, and hopefully there'll be some more 5 stars in the future for me from her. Um,
I'll
but yeah,
still I'll still keep my like eye out for her books and like add it to my cart, but they're not gonna be like the first books I'm gonna gravitate towards too
right.
on my
Right.
TBR.
Melissa, you want to be spoiled? Okay. So by the way, I saw this coming from a mile away when he in his inner monologue was like, I did something terrible in my past. He murdered someone. It's not really murder, it's self-defense. When he was younger, they were very poor, and like he used to go out with his friends. He was like 17 at the time. He used to go out with his friends to like these really rough taverns, and he got into a fight with like an acquaintance of his, like not really, he said not really a friend, not really an enemy, just like this guy that he knew. And the guy pulled out a knife, and so next thing he knew, the knife was in that guy's throat and he was dead. And so he also says that he doesn't really like 100% remember what happened. That those are just like the images that kind of come to his mind. Um, so yeah, it was really self-defense. It definitely wasn't intended murder.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as he was like, I did something so terrible, she'd never want to be with me. I'm like, he killed somebody. Yep, something happened. But yep, that was it. I didn't finish Some in the Dark. I also hated that the brothers were culpable in his jilting her. Never understood that from the first two. I think they wanted to protect their sister. I think they wanted to protect Willa, and they were very close with Dom. So I think they just didn't want the two of them to be miserable together. And so I think they were just like, okay, it's probably for the best if we just get Dom out of here, and then Willa can say that she jilted Dom to save her reputation. But and I also think it's like live and learn. I do think that the brothers regretted helping him leave. And I think that's one of the reasons why they end up like meddling and like making sure that the two of them end up at this house party and all of that. But yeah, I mean, because he killed someone, he felt that like he didn't deserve happiness, and he didn't want to like a scandal to break out if it got out that he had killed someone. Because that would affect Willa negatively and like the whole family and all of that. So yeah. But that's it. Thought he wasn't worthy. What? Yeah. I remember him saying something like when they were courting. I feel like he said something like it was a very like happy time for him. So I feel like he kind of forgot in a way about that dark part of his past. And then like as the wedding was coming up, he was like, oh wait, like I really can't do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. I don't know. In some ways I expected a bit more of a reason for him leaving her, just because it was such like a quick explanation and such like, oh yeah, I did this. I don't know.
Do we think if the book would be better if it wasn't set with a house party and it was just set in like the normal London society where they just keep running into each other and, had a different environment, because I feel like that house
I
party didn't
honestly
do
do.
much. The house party didn't do much, you know?
Dad didn't tell her. Second choice is always missing it. Yep, Melissa, you nailed it. There it is. Yep, he did something bad and he was too ashamed to tell her. He didn't even tell Finn and Kieran. They didn't know either. But no, I agree. When I was reading I remember while reading the first half of this book when like nothing was really happening, I was like, did we need the house party?
That's what I'm saying. I
agree that like she could have just had them in London and then just keep running into each other, because the whole catalyst is that she's come back from the continent. So like she spent a year in Europe and now she's back. And so I agree that I think the story would have been better served if they just would have kept running into each other in London at like balls or like other situations. I think
maybe he needed her for help and then she had to reluctantly agree. You know, that would have been a good setup, but I guess
I feel like the house party. Yeah, the house party to me actually doesn't quite fit.
Yeah.
These characters to me.
The only house party historical romance book that I've read was from Maya Rodell. And it was the book that I was telling you about, where they had to do the fake dating. Because the house party was them trying to win the inheritance. Wicked Wallfire by Maya Rodell. So that was fun.
Yeah, I like Forced Proximity too, but because it was a house party, nothing happened. Like nothing like actually happened except them playing like silly games and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I like house parties though in historical romances. Like The Lady Gets Lucky, one of my favorite historicals ever. It takes place, the first half takes place at a house party. But that one works so well because there's like the lessons in seduction and like they're getting something from the other because she's helping him with like his supper club. And it's a bit more lighthearted. Whereas this one, like, you've got the juxtaposition of like these silly games at the house party and then like their angsty second chance situation. And like for some reason, it wasn't, to me, it didn't feel like a perfect fit. I don't know. But yeah, Lisa and I are kind of on the same wavelength of like, I don't really have any thoughts.
Same wavelength, but different ratings. Sounds like a divergence. Like we literally like we're on the same opinion, but then the ratings were different, which is very strange. But
yeah, because I still liked it.
The last book, you gave it a 4 stars too. Remember last month's book?
Yeah.
Unveiled is it Unveiled?
It was Unclaimed.
Unclaimed.
Is that one? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I gave it 3 stars. You gave it 4. That was probably still leaning in the same direction. I'll give it that. This one we're leaning different ratings, but same opinion of the book.
Yeah, there were definitely some scenes. I mean, like the steamy scenes were really great because like Eva Lee knows how to write steamy scenes. But there were some scenes where I was invested, and then the whole first half, I still liked it for what it was. So that's why I'm not giving it lower than 4. But yeah, you know what? I also kind of feel like there could have been either like more conversations between the two of them or just like lengthier conversations in terms of like, I don't know, like in terms of, because one of the things I did like about this book is how it turns out they didn't really know each other that well when they were going to get married. Like that's a huge thing for the two of them, is that when they're getting back together throughout this book, they realize that, oh, when we were courting, it was just because like I wanted to scandalize society by having like this low-born brute as my fiance, and then he wanted her to scandalize society too because she was this princess, right? And so throughout the book, they learn that like there's so much more than that, and so I did appreciate that, but at the same time, I feel like there could have been more depth. There just could have been more, you know. But ooh, a house party novella.
Another Dream.
Oh, fun! I've never read
this author. Yeah, I never read from this author either.
But I've heard really great things about her, like the Slightly series. All the books are like titled
It's from
Slightly.
Crystal.
Yeah. Are there unique steamy scenes? Yeah, because well, there's like some BDSM in a couple of the scenes. But you know, I mean, it's Eva Lee. She's gonna have a fun time with her steamy scenes, you know. But yeah, I mean, they're probably the best part of the book, I would say. Like they were a fun time. They were well done. But I always expect that from her. Yeah, I feel like there's just not anything more to say.
I have nothing else to say, man.
Yeah, I can definitely understand, Lisa, why you were bored, and like I definitely get your rating for sure.
And it's also because I was never really curious about this couple to begin with, too. Like, I wasn't as invested as you were, so I wasn't always like as hyped and as jazzed as you were. I was just walking in for fun times, and because I didn't have that care for this couple, it further let me down because I don't even care about this couple.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. That's totally fair. Another Dream is an extended epilogue of the Slightly series. We're definitely gonna have to check that series out, Lisa.
Yeah. I was looking at books that for our next. Do we have a next month pick?
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was looking at books to see what it could be, but a lot of the books that I want to read aren't released yet, so we can't read them.
What are you excited about? What books are you excited about?
The ones well, you know what? It's Megan Frampton has a book that is coming in the mail for me. I know you're gonna hate it. I'm probably gonna hate it too. It has a 3.4 star rating on Goodreads.
Yeah, her books have such low ratings. Honestly, truly, I don't want to be ugly, but like, how is she still getting published? Her books have I've never seen any of her books have decent ratings on Goodreads. Like
there's got to be like a demand for it by people who don't rate on Goodreads because series published.
So. It's got to be selling well. Like I don't get it. I don't understand.
Not selling like well, but enough for the publisher to be like, all right, that's
to keep buying series from her. Yeah, I don't know. It's very weird.
Some books that I have my eyes set out on is one from Amelie Howard, and it's called Never Met a Duke Like You. It's the second book in her series with Forever Romance, and I read the first book, which is called Always Be My Duchess, and I actually really like that one. Give it 4
out of 5. You did? I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I was nervous. I was very nervous. Yeah. Okay, why does it have a 3.7 star rating on Goodreads?
That's not bad.
That's not bad? Okay.
Yeah.
And then okay. Another book that I wanted to bring up was this one from Sophie Jordan. I think I talked about this a little to you. I'm not sure if it was like off the live or on the live, but it's her latest series that she has published with Avon Romance. But it's different from all the historical romances that we've read because the series follows older women. And then this one specifically follows a heroine who is like in her 40s, and she has a daughter who is going to be entered into society. And then we have our hero who is pursuing the daughter, but then he ends up falling in love with our heroine who is the mother. So then it's scandalous. And then she wants to avoid scandal. But she also really she wants to follow her heart. Anyways, the ratings aren't that great.
But her books don't have great ratings, but I personally have enjoyed all the books that I've read by her. I don't know. I've given like a couple of them 3 stars, but for the most part, I've given them like 4 stars. I feel like her books are just like easy to read, just like a fun time, nothing too crazy, you know. I really enjoyed her. I think it's her not latest book necessarily, but it's the one, the heroine is like in a blue gown on the cover. She's blonde. And she's, what is the word? Her profession. A welder, like a blacksmith.
Yes.
That one was a good time. I liked that one.
I liked that one too. I loved that one because she was a welder. I was like, the scoundrel falls hard. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars.
That one was fun because like neither of them ended up being part of nobility, and I like
Yeah, and he was like a thief, he was a con artist, morally gray, and then she was just like different from all the other girls. She was like described to be like super like tall or something.
Very tall.
Yeah,
That
very
one
tall,
is one,
different.
I feel like Sophie Lark does a really good job of like starting her books off with a bang. Like
Yes.
that one started with like the town like forming a
Trying
mob
to burn him.
and like trying to like kill him.
Yeah.
And then her being like, no, but I love him.
Yeah, just trying to save his ass. Yeah, I like that. I started reading.
Called that you just said, Lisa, the other book that you were just talking about.
Which one? Is it the Sophie Jordan, the Countess?
Yeah, the Sophie Jordan. Oh, it's the Countess.
I started that one. I got too angsty. I mean, like, it's not angsty yet, but I was on like the tippy top of the angsty part where she's going to realize that guy is trying to court her daughter. So I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with it right now, because I was like, I'm not in the mood for angst. So I put a hold on it. It's like I'm like 15% in. They just met each other. They have a great conversation going on. There's a strong connection. She's not willing to kind of give in to him yet because she thinks that he's very smooth. He's like a charmer, and she had obviously a really bad relationship with her previous husband, because her previous husband, it was not a romantic relationship. So she's just not willing to like sacrifice the freedom that she has for a random guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What
other books are you thinking of for June?
I have no idea. Like, I'm trying to think of like new releases, because that's the first thing that pops into my mind. But I think, like you said, there's nothing coming out or that has come out super recently that I'm excited about.
I saw some like Jana McGregor books. She publishes with St. Martin's Press, and I get her books from St. Martin's Press, but I just like never read them. But I'm like looking at Goodreads right now. They're like, there's like 1,000 ratings, and they're 4 stars. Like her books, like the Widow Rules series, is like a 4-star average rating.
Okay.
Should we put that on our radar to think about?
What is it called? What was it?
The first book is called A Duke in Time, and I guess they're all widows.
I had seen those books getting mixed reviews,
but they're like an average 4-star rating. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And the second book is the book that I ruined in the video that I said I was painting my book.
Oh, what was that one called?
Rules for Engaging the Earl.
Okay.
So I don't know. I want to try it.
I'm also really interested in reading Minerva Spencer. Have you read any of her books?
Minerva Spencer, yes. I have not read, but are we all talking about the one that Jen read with the pirate?
Oh,
or is that different?
Minerva? Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Right? Barbarius?
Yeah, Dangerous is book 1 of that series.
I have Barbarius audiobook. I don't have the first one.
The audios are on like Hoopla, if any of you have Hoopla.
Ooh, okay. Let me check Hoopla.
But yeah, like Dangerous is book 1 of that series, and Jen has raved about it. And then Minerva Spencer just came out with a book called The Dueling Duchess. This just came out like this past week. I'll show the cover. And I've seen people giving it like very good ratings.
Ooh.
So, because B from Mama Needs to Read Romance, she gave it 5 stars. She just read it recently. She said she was really impressed with the writing. And she said, but it's also very steamy. Interesting. I think this is book 2 of a series, though. Let me look at the ratings for book 1. The Boxing Baroness is book 1. Let's see. But also, if we wanted, we could check out the Mary Balog series. Yeah, I had heard really good things about this series from Minerva Spencer, too. And I found the audios for it on Hoopla. This is definitely like a more recent series from her. Let me look this one up. It's the Bellamy Sisters series.
Is it like Infamous, Notorious, and Outrageous? No.
No, that's a different series, actually.
Those are the only audiobooks I have at my library.
Which ones?
Notorious, Outrageous, and Infamous.
Let me see.
Hoopla doesn't have.
I've heard of those too. Let's see. That's the Rebels of the Ton series. But this series does not have great ratings, though. Well, some people gave it 5 stars that we follow, and some people didn't. But I don't know. I've heard really great things about that Dangerous, the Outcast series. We can definitely just like keep her on like a list.
Yeah. I want to try out the Outcast series though.
Yeah, that's the one with Dangerous and Barbarous.
Yeah. I want to try out that one. And then the other one, Jana McGregor.
Right? Let me see. What was that series? It was like A Duke in Time or something was one of the books. Something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, let me see. A Duke in Time is book 1 of that series. That has a 3.9 average rating. And then book 2 is the one that you had in that video, Rules for Engaging the Earl. That has a 4.01 average rating. I see a couple people giving it 5 stars.
Christy gave it 3.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me though. Honestly, that does not shock me.
Crystal gave it 3.
Do we want, because like this series, do we want to start this series? Because I found the audios for this on Hoopla.
A Duke in Time? The Widow Rules?
No, the Mary Balog, the Slightly series.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me look at my library. I'll probably have the audiobooks for it. I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, it's definitely a bit of an older series.
I have 41 audiobooks available from, Slightly Serious. What's the first book?
Slightly this is the Edwin saga. Slightly Married is book 1.
Okay, I have it.
Done. Okay. There are 6 books total in the series, so that would be cool if we end up really liking it. This one, the audio is narrated by Rosalind Landor. I love her. I'm guessing this is A Marriage of Convenience. Let's see.
Slightly Married is a gem. So far, me and Linda are on the same page. So
really?
I mean, I think so. Sometimes I agree with Linda. Sometimes we don't. But for this book, we agreed. So I'll listen to Linda.
Yeah, I've just heard really great things about this series.
Let's just do it. Let's just pick that one. That's the book.
Cool. So let me get an actual cover up here so I can show everybody. Slightly Married. Let's see.
Maybe it'll be like one of those books that sends me into historical romance.
This is what, like, I guess the original cover looks like. When was this originally published? 2003.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like 1990s or something.
It definitely has that like old school vibe to it. But yeah, I'm very excited. This has been on my radar for a long time. And hopefully it should be pretty easy for everybody to access because it's an older book. Like I said, I found all the audios on my Hoopla, and I'm sure a lot of libraries have them. Yeah, I'm excited. A lot of people that we follow gave this like 4 or 5 stars.
I'm excited to try out a different author.
Yeah, because like I said, I've never read this author, but I've heard people rave about like specifically this series.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
there's gotta be a reason. I want to know the reason.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on.
Are you reading any historical romances recently?
So I'm about to start, my book's over there, but I'm about to start my reread of A Week to Be Wicked and then A Lady by Midnight for the Double Dare. Summer of Tessa because our next live show is next Sunday. So I have a week to reread these two books.
Are you loving it so far? The rereads?
Yeah, it's been so much fun, and the live shows have been really great, and like we've gotten really great comments as well from people that are participating with us, which is really awesome. So it's been really fun too to reread these books, just because I've been in a slump for the past month, I would say, maybe even longer. But like, I feel like I need these rereads for like, I don't know, it's like reignite my love of like reading. Like, yeah, I'm definitely feeling slumpy, and that could have affected my enjoyment of this. But I mean, I think we're all in agreement of like, you know, what was going on with that one. Yeah, next Sunday, it's June 4th at 4 p.m. Central Time. I love Mary Balog. She's Lower Angst. Fun. Well, I'm very excited. And then in terms of like a live show date.
Yes. June 24th, 17.
Let me see. Did you prefer Fridays or Saturdays?
I think I prefer Saturdays.
Yeah. Okay.
Does Saturdays work for you?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Because like the Tessa Dare stuff, those are on Sundays. Those are every couple of weeks. So like we have one on the 4th and then on the 18th of June. I don't know. What do you think about like, I don't know, the 24th?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. And since it's a weekend, do you have like a time constraint or anything?
No, 7 works.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with 7 your time, so that would be 6 my time.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna have our live show on Saturday, June 24th at 6 p.m. Central Time or 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But yeah, I'm excited to finally read some Mary Balog.
Yeah,
for sure. And then I also just need to be on the lookout for more upcoming releases because I can't think of any that are coming out in the next couple of months that I'm excited about. Because honestly, my most anticipated release, we read it already in February. Like that was The Duke Gets Even. Like we read it a long time ago.
I'm waiting for. Okay, so I didn't read. Was it The Counterfeit Something from Lorraine Heath? I didn't read the first book.
I haven't read that. Yeah, I haven't read that series yet.
Haven't read it, but the next book comes out on June 6th. So I think it's time for me to start the series. See, the reason why I was dragging my feet to read the Lorraine Heath book was because if I finish it, I finish it, and there's nothing left for me to read. So I'm waiting for more things to come out so that I could like enjoy my time with Lorraine. I'm saving it to savor it.
Yeah. I've been waiting for like months at this point on the wait list from my library for the most recent one.
Lorraine Heath?
Yeah, the Counterfeit Scoundrel or whatever. Yeah, I've just been waiting on that wait list. So
yeah. And I'm waiting for other like the Emily Howard one. There's this also like I saw this so there's teen historical romance books now coming out.
Yeah.
Bellegarde by Jamie Lilac. It's from Harper Teen and it has 93 ratings and it's a 4-star right now, and I'm intrigued, but I don't know if I want to pay hardcover pricing. I think that just pisses me off. Like YA books always come out. Oh wait, this comes out in paperback. I talked to Sin. Be right back. Let me pre-order it right now.
What are you pre-ordering?
Bellegarde by Jamie Lilac.
Oh.
It says Ooh La La, a historical rom-com with a modern twist, perfect for fans of Bridgerton, A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and She's All That. All right, I'm gonna order it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a cute cover.
I know. Okay, fuck it. Let me order it. I'll order it.
I think that's gonna be interesting. A like YA historical rom-com.
Sophie Jordan wrote the YA historical romance last year called 16 Candles or something. I gave it 3.5.
Oh, I heard of that. I
stars.
heard of that one.
But I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, I must say.
Yeah.
I appreciated her diving into, like YA historical romance
That's
to
so
open it up.
interesting. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like since Bridgerton came out, I feel like I've been seeing the YA historicals.
I saw this TikTok and I was like, what? It was like, I mean, kudos to the creator, but it was like this girl who was like, I'm joining my Bridgerton aesthetic era. And like the Bridgerton aesthetic era is like speaks different languages, doesn't use the phone, goes outside for walks. And I was like, what?
What?
And I was like, you do you, girl. You do you.
Right. To each their own, I guess.
I was like, yeah, do that. I'm gonna continue scrolling on TikTok for a bit. Like,
right. I'm just gonna read the historicals, not live the life.
I'm not gonna teach myself Latin anytime soon. So
right, because what the next step is living without electricity.
churning my own butter.
Indoor plumbing. Like, yeah, I did watch it. Lisa, have you watched it?
Did you watch it? Did you like it?
I did. I did really like it. I do think it was only 6 episodes. And I had a similar issue with season 2 of Bridgerton that like there's a couple of episodes in the middle that felt slow. And then all of a sudden the last episode it feels like everything happens. And yeah, I felt the same way about Queen Charlotte and Bridgerton season 2. But I still really enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, it was. I liked it. I definitely really, really enjoyed it. And would recommend people watch it. I mean, it was great. It was very well done.
I'm a fucking hipster. I don't watch anything that's like too popular or too hyped. But like honestly, also at the same time, I feel like with Bridgerton, I kind of gave up. After season 2 was kind of like I gave up on it. I just don't care for it anymore. So that's why I didn't watch
season 2. Yeah, season 2 really like tried our patience. Like really tried all the historical romance lovers' patience. Like that season, man. I am not a writer, but I could have written a better season. I mean, like, I just, man, they really went in on that dumb love triangle, and like, I was not a fan. Oh man,
that's so fucking funny. No, yeah, I think the Bridgerton thing, the first season was a good one, and then the rest I was just like, I don't really care about it.
Yeah, the first season was really great, even though like Daphne and Simon have never been my favorite couple. It was a really great season, you know. Kate and Anthony are actually my favorite couple in the series.
Yeah, me too.
You know. And so then in this season, I was like, girl, what are we doing? Like this dumb love triangle and like all this shit. I'm like, no. But Queen Charlotte was very good. I'm also looking forward to reading the book version because I'm sure it will be a bit different or a bit more detailed than the show. And the casting was phenomenal for that series. But yeah, I don't know. With season 3 of Bridgerton, I'm like cautiously optimistic. I don't know what they're gonna do with like Penelope and Colin's story. I don't like that book. I don't like that book.
I don't like that book either.
Colin is a little shit. He is a little shit in that book, and like I
felt like it was incest. They were too close, like as brothers and sisters. I was like, this is incest. But then afterwards, they're not related. But I was just like, you guys are brothers and sisters, like in my head.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Like,
when's that coming out though?
I don't think we have a date, but I know I'm pretty sure they finished filming.
Good for
them.
Kind
of recently. Oh, Melissa, you didn't. Why? You gotta tell me.
Which one? Which book did she
DNF Queen Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was written by Julia Quinn and like the creator of Bridgerton. Yeah. So like I don't.
You DNF'd.
Oh,
Mr. Bridgerton. Honestly, understandable. Colin is a poo-poo head, in that book. He's so annoying and so. And also, I am never going to be a fan of romances where like the heroine has been pining for years and then the hero is just oblivious to it. And like, no, absolutely not. So I'm cautious about season 3 because it's going to be about their romance. And like, as much as I love the actress who plays Penelope, I don't know, like my least favorite character. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like she has maybe a bit more moxie in the books, especially in her own book. But that's fair. Maybe in this new season she will. I don't know. Maybe her. Exactly. I need the hero to fall first. I need the hero to be pining. And then the heroine notices.
Wait, but this reminds me of the book where I really liked it when the heroine, it's not Julia Quinn, it's Anna Harrington, but like the heroine pines for the wrong brother. I like it.
Oh, are you talking about The Duke Demands?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
That one was real. I liked that book a lot.
Yeah, like when she pines, but then she realizes that she fucked up and she pined for the wrong guy. And the right guy was right there all along. It's silly. Like, she's silly. She pisses me off in the beginning because she's like, why are you so like oblivious? The guy doesn't like you. You know, he's just not that into you. And then he falls in love, and then she falls in love with the right guy. I like it when it's like that. But or if she pines, she realizes he ain't the shit. And then she like drops him, but then he realizes that he can't live without her, and then he does the pining afterwards. Then I don't like that.
I do, yeah. I like when there's like the old switcheroo thing of like who's pursuing who.
Yeah.
That makes me think of The Rogue of Fifth Avenue by Joanna Shoup, the one with the blue cover. Because at first, I think the heroine is pursuing him, and then it switches like halfway through because she's kind of like over his bullshit, and then he's like, "No, wait,
yeah, I need you." I liked it when you were following me around.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not super excited for season 3. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they do. We'll see. I'm not rooting for the romance, so. You know.
You're gonna still watch it, so that means something.
I'll still watch it though for the vibes and for like the music. The music is always on point in the Bridgerton shows. But yeah, I'm like you, Lisa. I usually don't watch what's popular.
Yeah.
Or like I put it off like a year until no one is talking about it anymore, and then I finally watch it.
I feel like a lot of people like to watch it like as soon as possible and whatever because they're my friends and they're on social media and they just want to like talk about it first. And then it's like, oh, but I thought we were over it. I don't know.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But then again, I watch Korean dramas and I always watch the most popular dramas. Like any popular drama on television, I'm like watching it first. So.
Well, and because I've been in a reading slump, I've been watching more things.
What are you watching right now?
Random things. Like I finally watched It Follows a couple days ago. That's it was on Netflix. It's a horror movie. It's not a Netflix movie though, but it's the movie about like this entity that follows you, but it's like an STD. It's a strange concept. Like
is it a 2014 film?
Yes.
Old? Okay.
Yeah. It's so good because the horror isn't really about jump scares. It's about the dread of this thing following you and like you're powerless against it. And like it's so good. I'm so glad I finally watched it.
Okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. There's like a couple of jump scares, but like other than that, it's really about.
I've been meaning to watch a horror thriller movie.
Yeah. Yes, Melissa, I am in a slump. Like this is very unusual for me. I've only given like 3 or 4 books this month 5 stars. That's very weird for me. Usually I have a lot more than that. And I'm also reading a lot slower pace than usual. I know part of that is because of my job, but it's like been taking me like 3 days to read a book, and I used to be able to read a book a day. So like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not in the mood at the moment. Hopefully, like over the summer when I have more time.
Even when I read, I don't enjoy it as much, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like it takes like I read a book, it's all right. And then I start another book, it's all right. And then just cycle just keeps going. Like even if when I read, I don't enjoy it. Like I don't have the book that makes me want to read more.
Yes, lately I've been having to make myself pick
Yeah.
up books, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that. So
Yeah.
that's why lately I've just been watching stuff. Like I've started rewatching Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt on Netflix. God, I love that show so much.
It's so funny. The
It's
first season. I
so
only watched the first season, but yeah.
Oh, really? You should continue it. It's so funny.
I probably should, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like in a slump for sure. Like I think after we're done here, I'm probably gonna just start watching something because I'm not in the mood to read. Like,
you know what I have to fucking read? I have to read this book. This book is called The Driver's Handbook Study Guide, Knowledge and Road Test Ontario, because I'm finally taking my driver's test.
Oh,
because I'm fucking 27 years old, turning 28 next week, and I don't know how to drive yet. So I'm gonna be fucking doing quizzes, trying to remember road signs and like how to fucking turn or some shit. But I'm gonna read this, and then I'm gonna kill myself, and then watch your movie. It follows.
So I actually didn't get my license until I was 21.
Yeah.
I was just able to keep putting it off, you know, until my junior year of college. Yeah, but if you do you need to drive? Is there any reason for you to drive?
Yes, there is, because I can't keep asking my father to like pick me up and drop me off at the train station every single day. So like I should be able.
How far away is the train station?
It's like a 30-minute walk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's like I either ask my father or I go for a nice long ass walk, and I don't want to do that. So it's time for me to learn how to drive.
If I'm not grabbed, yeah, my reading time is limited. Exactly. I've definitely got IDNF so much more often than I used to. It's Okay, 5 stars 2 months ago. Ugh, I don't do 5 stars so easily.
It's also like,
yeah, that's fair.
Because I'm not reading as much, I feel guilty whenever I buy books, because I'm like, I'm not reading right now. So
yeah, I haven't bought a book. It's been a while. Like I have pre-orders coming in every now and then, but like from those Barnes and Noble sales.
Yeah.
But like other than that, no, I haven't really bought. It's been a while. I mean, you know, I have my Kindle, and a lot of the time I'm listening to audiobooks driving to and from work. That's how I get a lot of my reading done, is when I'm driving, actually. So yeah. Or when I'm like mowing the lawn, I'm listening to an audiobook.
How do you listen to it when it's so loud? Like the engine is so loud.
It's actually like not too bad, but I definitely have to like crank the volume up. I mean, I have like not quite noise canceling headphones, but like they're pretty good. Like it's not just earbuds, it's like actual headphones. Okay. But yeah, I definitely have to crank up the volume a bit to like, but also I don't have it's like an electric mower, so it's not quite as loud.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that definitely helps the time go by faster. But yeah, I mean, I think we're about done for today, right? Now we're just talking about random shit. So
driver's license and mowing my lawn.
Yes. Well, good luck getting your driver's license.
If I don't talk about it, it's either I failed or I didn't write it in the end.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I'm sure once you get that license, that'll and get a car, obviously. Or maybe you don't need a car. You could probably just borrow
license. Gotta get the road test license portion of the driver's license. Then you gotta get the highway exam done, and then that's like I'm gonna be 30 by the time I finish my whole full license.
Oh wait, so there's multiple driving tests?
Yeah, like the second one is just like road, and then the third one includes the highway.
Oh, I just did one test for everything.
Yeah, no, we broke it up into 3 parts. you know?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Getting our
Yeah,
car.
hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully everything goes well with that. And
Whatever.
definitely let me know what you think of It Follows. Watch it tonight and let me know what you think.
Yeah, I'll tell you. And if
Um,
I'm not scared, I'm turning it off and I'm gonna start reading this book that scares me more, which is the driver's handbook.
there you go.
All right.
All
It
right,
was nice chatting
everyone.
with everybody.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Like I said, our next live show is going to be Saturday, June 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Slightly Married by Mary Balog. I'll get going on the graphics probably in the next week or so.
Rachel's fantastic with the graphics. She just does it very
Well,
quick.
it's so easy now that, like, I mean, we're using
Just
a template
upload
on
change.
Canva, so, you know.
Yeah.
All right. We hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend and Memorial Day
Yeah.
and all
Have
of
a
that.
fun Memorial Day. Bye,
Yes.
guys.
All right. Bye, guys.